What's up, everybody? Benji Bruce here with BenjiBruce.com. And in this video, I just want to talk about how do you build your personal brand when you don't have the time. Now, you have to remember that when it comes to everything you do, if you say things like, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have blah, 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 whatever it is, you have to remember that the more excuses you make, the less money you will have. It doesn't matter if that excuse is true, false, it doesn't matter. Even if you don't have the time or the money, reality doesn't care. And when I say reality, I don't mean like law of attraction stuff. I mean like actual science, physics type of thing, in terms of science doesn't care about your opinions. Gravity exists whether you believe it or not. The earth is round whether you believe it or not. And so the same goes with you trying to accomplish something. You want to build a personal brand, but you saying you don't have the time. Maybe you have a job or whatever. Maybe you truly do not have the time. Reality doesn't care. Reality says you have to do this in order to accomplish this. If you don't do this, you will not get this. That's what reality says. It doesn't care if you don't have the time to do this, if you don't have the money to do it. It doesn't care. Reality, physics, science says you do this to get this. So you have to truly remember that. If you're saying that you don't have the time to build your personal brand, to build your business, then there's only two things you can do. Either one, you find the time, or two, you create the time. Like there's only those two things that you can do. So in terms of like finding the time, usually people have time, they just don't see where that time is. And so like, let's say you can wake up earlier. I don't know when you wake up, but you can wake up earlier, an hour, 2 hours earlier, and get to work on building that brand. You can go to sleep later. I mean, whenever you get home from your job, you're tired, whatever, it's like you got to get over it, and you got to work. You got to do the hours with the work. And there's no way around that. So you can essentially find the time, or you can essentially create the time as well, in terms of course, hiring. But that, I mean, if you don't have the money to hire, you can't really hire. So of course you can hire other things. Like, let's say you have a job, right? Let's say your job is 9 to 5, and you can of course wake up early or go to sleep later. But let's say you don't want to do that. You're like, man, I like my sleep. I don't feel like doing that stuff. I don't want to wake up early. I'm not a morning person. I want to go to sleep late because I like my sleep, whatever. So whatever it is, but let's say you don't want to do that, and you're working 9 to 5. What you have to do is you literally have to quit your job and get a different job that frees up your time in some other area. So like, I don't know, like let's say you're working 9 to 5. Let's say you do Uber. All of a sudden you do Uber. Now it frees up more of your time in terms of you can do Uber, you can pause it, work on your business for an hour, start it again, and then boom, you worked on your business. And so it's one of those things in terms of, I know a lot of people, they're like, I can't quit my job. I can't quit my job. Well, once again, reality doesn't care. Reality says, I don't care if you don't quit your job. You either find time to do this or you don't. You find time to do this or you won't have this. And so you just got to remember that whenever you come up with these excuses. So it's kind of like, what's more important to you, your job as it is or your dream as you want it to be? And so if you have a job and you're saying, oh, I'm not going to quit this job, you're basically saying, I don't really want this. I don't really want my dream. Whereas the person who truly wants a dream, they'll say, I'll take whatever the hell job I can for the sole purpose of accomplishing this. That's the purpose of the job, to accomplish this. And if this job is getting in the way, I'm going to essentially quit this one, find a different one, and then that way I'll be able to work on this. So you truly have to like understand like what it is. I mean, where's your where's your focus going to be in terms of like, do you truly want it? Do you not? Because once again, reality doesn't care if you don't have the time. Reality says you either work on it or you don't. And so you can't come up with any excuses, legit or not. It simply doesn't matter. You may not have the time, the money, or whatever. You better figure it out, because once again, science, reality, physics doesn't care. You either do this to get this, or you won't have a dream. It's that simple in terms of finding the time and everything to build your personal brand. You either find the time, you create the time, or you simply won't have the dream. It's one or the other.